Hi guys. So I wanted to let you in on my journey to manifesting the wealth that I really desire, manifesting the amount of luxury that I really desire. And this has been something that I have been working on for probably at least the last, really consciously, the last 6 months. Connor and I started sitting down and being really aware of what we were spending our money on and how much interest we were paying every single month on our credit cards, and being really cognizant of what we were spending our money on, how we felt every time we sat down to do our financial alignment plan. The languaging around money, we don't say budget, we don't say we say financial alignment plan. We don't say spend money, we say circulate money. We have money that we set aside every single month as our future, what do we call it? I actually got this idea from the Manifestation Babe money ebook, which is, I would highly recommend it. It's free. It's on her profile. It's on her bio. I would totally recommend it. But she taught this concept of the 10-10-10 rule. And it's 10% goes to a future self fund. So instead of saving a savings account, future self fund, because you're putting money aside for your future self. Okay. You don't want to say an emergency. Who wants to manifest an emergency? You don't want to have an emergency fund. And for me, savings account, it always made me feel like I couldn't touch it. But we want to be able to touch our money, right? That's what it's there for, is to circulate it. So 10% towards the future savings fund. 10% of your income goes to charitable donations, which really helped me and we also say if somebody's getting married, or if they're having a baby, or if it's their birthday, we'll use that money to buy them gifts. Okay. So 10% of that. And then the other 10% is, we've been calling it our allowance, but I know that she uses a better word for it than that. And I think it's the abundance fund. That's what it is. And so every single month we get that. And it has just given me this sense of holy shit, I have just been spending money recklessly. The minute I see something I want, I'm I'm going to buy it. And no freaking wonder that even when I was a travel nurse and making $10,000, $12,000 a month, I still found a way to spend all of it, because clearly my unconscious didn't feel safe holding on to any money at all. I don't know exactly how to explain why that is. I know it has something to do with my upbringing. I know it has something to do with the society in which I was brought up, the people I was brought up around, and I obviously learned their money beliefs. But it's just very interesting that even when I was making $12,000 a month, I still wasn't able to pay off my credit card every single month, because I was just finding anything I wanted, I would just buy it. It's almost I thought that was an abundance mindset, because I was oh, that just means if I want it, I buy it. And that's because there's an abundance of money and that it'll always come in. And I think that there's a good amount of, I think that was well-intentioned, but now that I look back at it, I see that that's actually a bit of a scarcity mindset. Because if I'm buying every single little thing that I want, because nobody's going to tell me no, because there's always enough money, I'll always be able to pay off my credit cards, I'm just manifesting more of that. I'm manifesting being in more credit card debt. I'm manifesting having a credit card that I can't ever pay off because I'm living above the amount of money that's coming into me. And have I always been able to pay off my credit cards? Yes. Every single time. I've been in crappy situations where I had over $20,000 in credit card debt and I paid it off every single time. But that's the catch. I've done it several times. So I'm like, okay, I need to break the pattern here, right? So I started taking the approach of like, okay, I have this amount of money every single month for my abundance fund. And I know that this abundance fund that's just for me is going to be bigger in the future. This is just where it is right now. And I started becoming like really selective with like what I wanted to spend my money on. Like, cause I noticed that I would just like, before this, I would just, oh, I want this book, buy. Oh, I want this makeup, buy. I want this skin product, buy. And then later on, like I didn't like the product. And of course I thought it was a waste of time to go back and, like get my money back for it or exchange it. I was like, oh, whatever, there's enough money. Like it's fine if it just goes bad and I throw it away and it's full. It was a very wasteful like mindset. But now I'm like, like, okay, like this is how much I have and I'm really grateful for this. And I want to make sure that I get the most out of this. You know, I want to get the most out of this. And so that's where I'm at with that. And that's felt really, really good. And, you know, it's funny because Connor and I have been doing this financial alignment plan. Like I said, we don't say budget, for about 7 months. And it wasn't until he and I took on this approach that we were paying off our credit cards, like diligently trying to pay off our credit cards every single month and like put money towards it, but we never really moved the needle. Like we always stayed like right here with how much credit card debt we have. And now for the first time in 6 months, we've actually like dropped significantly. Like we're actually moving the needle. And I'm like, holy shit, okay, this is really cool. And so I just did Manifestation Babes Cash Flow Day 1. And I wanted to kind of share some of the questions that she put on there, the homework that has really kind of helped me today talk about or think about where's my limit? Like where she calls it her like financial thermostat, like where is it set and how can I expand it? And one thing that she said that really, really changed the way that I started thinking about it just now is like, I want to expand on actually seeing myself having that amount of money, having the job that will get me to the next step, get me to the next goal that I have in like my 5-year plan that I have in my head. Actually seeing myself have it. And like, as I'm writing this down, I'm noticing all these things coming up like, oh, well, I'm afraid, my unconscious is afraid that I won't be as capable doing this job as I am doing the job that I currently have. Because I feel like a boss at the job that I currently have. And I think there's a part of me that's afraid that if I leave that behind, that I'll lose that feeling with this new job. So that's interesting. I noticed that I was thinking just how cool, great, and amazing it would be, but not actually feeling like it's possible to manifest that money, to live that kind of lifestyle, to have that kind of job. Like what does my day-to-day look like when I have that? Like how is it different from now? And like really being able to put myself in that body, because I can like always see myself like as a third person, like doing that, but not actually being in that body. And then also answering the question of like the type of person who has X amount of money, how do they feel about money? And I kind of I wrote this down. The type of person who has X amount of money, I'm not going to tell you guys what I wrote down because, you don't tell people your manifestations. I don't anyways. The type of person who has X amount of money or X net worth knows that money is a neutral resource, much like water. She knows that she's always being taken care of. She feels completely at peace circulating her money, not spending, circulating her money and being generous with it because she knows it's going to come back tenfold. She knows there's no end to it. The way she feels about money is the way she feels about water when she turns on the faucet. the way she feels about water to drink and use. She turns the tap on, expects water to come out, and if it doesn't, she knows that there just must be something wrong with the pipes. It's not that there's no more water. There's an abundant resource of water. There's a limitless resource of water, right? In theory, right? In the amazing, grateful world that I've been brought up in, there's no such thing as no clean water. There's no such thing as turning on the water and not having any water. And I'm so grateful for that. And I'm so sorry if any of you have experienced that. But just for my own expansion of my mind, when I turn on the faucet, if water doesn't come out, I don't immediately think, oh my God, we're out of water. I think, oh, there's something wrong with the pipes. There's something wrong with whatever. I don't know how like the water network works. But there's something wrong with the pipes. It's not that there's no more water left. It's just that like there's an issue with the system. She knows that the water will come back on, maybe not how, maybe not when, but that it will. And how can I like apply that energetics to money? Because if money really is it's just paper. It's just paper, right? It's the meaning that we attach to it. It's the meaning that we give to it. How can I attach that limitless resource mindset that I have about water to money? So I'm going to be working on that. If you guys are also going through your own money journey, and you have anything you want to add, I'd love to hear about your story. It'd be great. Love you guys.